Hello, and welcome to McCormick Theological Seminary's booth here at the virtual seminary tour. We're glad that you stopped by and are interested in learning a little bit more information about McCormick. So let's get started. McCormick is a seminary that's located in Hyde Park in the city of Chicago. It's about 8 miles south of the downtown area of Chicago, and we are connected, at least in our structural connections, as well as relational connections with the Lutheran School of Theology at Chicago. So we're at the corner of 55th Street and University Avenue on the south side. We have several goals, and according to our mission, we are a community of learning and teaching. We are challenged by the Holy Spirit and grounded in God's transforming love for the world in Jesus Christ. We are committed to institutional life, scholarship, and ministry that are ecumenical, urban, and cross-cultural. You'll be hearing those words from me quite a bit. Our identity is very much wrapped in our values of being a community that is cross-cultural, urban, reformed, and ecumenical. Those words are the words that we use as touchstones to continue to remember that when participating in the task of theological education, we at McCormick believe that it's extremely valuable to engage in theological education in a context that is cross-cultural, that we're engaged with our urban surrounding, our urban setting, that we are reformed in our theology, and that we're also ecumenical. So we understand that it's also important to learn from and have access to other traditions as well, to round out our experience of theological education. As God is diverse in God's own self, so we might be able to have more of an understanding of what God is doing in the world by participating in conversations and academic ventures through an ecumenical lens and incorporating lots of different traditions into our setting. So a little bit of who's inside. As you can see here, this is actually a snapshot of our last year's incoming class, and it gives you a slight hint as to what kind of theological diversity we have in our midst. Our numbers are actually similar for this year as well, and they tend to be roughly the same in every class. We strive, again, this is for our ecumenical identity. We're only at about 36 to 40% Presbyterian PCUSA students at McCormick attending currently. We have a significant percentage of folks, much more, from all different other kinds of denominations and different countries. So we also have Presbyterians who are attending from Myanmar and from Korea and from Egypt and Colombia. And we're interested in providing an opportunity and a space for all of these different traditions and all of these different experiences of worship and prayer and the access to the work that God is doing in the world comes together in our classrooms and interacts with one another. Another way that we're also committed to diversity is in our racial ethnic diversity. As you can see here, about 30% of our student population is European American, 30% are African American, and the remainder, 40% of our student body is just as diverse. We've got Hispanic and Latino students from different countries. We have a pretty significant population of students who are from different countries. About 20 to 25% of our students come from different countries as well, which is an exciting endeavor to engage in theological education with so many different experiences of God in the world coming together in the classroom. So I just want to run through a couple of our most frequently asked questions. Obviously, there are many more questions that our prospective students have on their minds, but I'll just run through a couple of the frequently asked questions and hope that it might address some of your initial questions. Again, if you have further questions, please do not hesitate to contact our office. The Office of Recruitment and Admissions at McCormick would be happy to talk with you about that, about whatever questions you might have. So first of all, what academic programs does McCormick have, and which one would be best for you? Well, you're the only one that's going to be able to really pick out which one is best for you, but I can tell you a little bit about the programs that we have here. And I'd be happy to be in conversation with you about which program might be best for you. So first of all, I'll just give you a little overview of our different master's level programs at McCormick. We have a Master's of Divinity, Master of Arts in Urban Ministry, Master of Arts in Discipleship Development, a Master's in Theological Studies, and a Master of Theology. Now, our first three degrees, they tend to be more of practitioner degrees. They're programs that are designed for folks who are called into the practice of ministry, whether that be in a congregation or in a nonprofit or an organization, a religious nonprofit working in the community, and community organizing and social work, in areas such as that. These programs are designed to train you for that kind of work. The Master of Theological Studies and the Masters of Theology tend to be more academic-based programs. They're programs that are designed to prepare you for further study in academia, such as a PhD program. So our Master of Divinity program, it's a 3-year program if you're a full-time student. And of course, we also have many of our students who are only part-time students, so it will typically take a little bit more time. Up to 6 years, we hope not longer than 6 years so that you can get out and get to work. But again, this program is our largest program that we have. Most of our students enroll as MDiv students, and this particular program prepares individuals for ordained ministry in the church and for vocations in pastoral, teaching, agency, governing body, or ecumenical staff ministries, as well as ministries of social service and chaplaincy. Our Master of Arts in Urban Ministry, this is a 2-year degree, or again, if you're part-time, it would take you longer, hopefully up to 4 years. But this program really is organized to help you examine and analyze urban context, using the city of Chicago as your living laboratory. We use this program really draws on biblical and theological resources to reflect on issues of the church and society. It's designed to help enlarge your capacity to engage in cross-cultural ministries. And we hope that this program will also help you to acquire skills and strategies to organize communities and access political power in urban settings as well. Our Master of Discipleship Development also is a 2-year program, again, longer if you're a part-time student. And students who engage in this particular program are seeking to be taught basic concepts of Christian belief, traditions, and practice. It's designed to help equip you to engage in a variety of spiritual practices, such as prayer and hospitality and worship. It's designed to help you know how to plan and lead programs of Christian formation in a variety of settings. And it also helps you to analyze and evaluate resources and practices for Christian formation. Our Master of Theological Studies, again, this is another 2-year program, longer if you'll be a part-time student. And it meets a variety of needs for both international and domestic students. It's designed to meet the needs of those who are interested in continuing graduate theological education, or for those who are seeking personal or vocational enrichment. And then our Master of Theology program is a program that's designed, it's a 1-year program. It's research-based, it's academia, it's strong in its academia, and it is to prepare those who already hold an MD degree or its equivalent, so that you might advance your theological research skills in a specific field or discipline as you prepare for further graduate study. That's a little glimpse of what our programs are. Next question. What is the worship life at McCormick like? We are a community that is rooted and based in our worship. That is what brings us together. That's our common bond. And so we do have a lively and vibrant worship life at McCormick. We want you to continually to experience, even as you're a student, the deepening intimacy with your God as you acquire the knowledge and tools that will sustain your practice of ministry. So it's really important that we gather together on a weekly basis to worship together and pray together and support one another and uphold in our worship of God. Thirdly, are there opportunities to serve or volunteer while I'm a student or a partner of a student at McCormick? Absolutely. As persons are preparing to serve the church in the world, McCormick really wants your intellectual and theological development to work alongside of your practical preparation for effective ministry. There are many places of need in the city of Chicago, and we support our students and encourage them to get out and participate in the life of the wider community, whether that means that you're serving with a local congregation or a local organization. But it's important to be able to touch base and practice ministry while you're also learning about it through the academic process. What's housing like at McCormick? Well, approximately 60% of our students are commuter students, so they live in the city of Chicago. They live all over the Chicagoland area, in fact. But about 40% of our students are residents, and so we do have an apartment building that we own, and we subsidize the rent for our students in the neighborhood of Hyde Park. So there are apartments there. There are there's 3-bedroom apartments. There's plenty of space for family housing. We allow pets to live in the building. We do have a policy which allows for same-sex domestic partners to live together. And that's all within the realm of our housing. Our residence life director, Diane Sinish, is a wonderful resource. If you are interested in moving to the city of Chicago, but you don't want to live on our campus, technically, Diane can still point you in the direction of some resources to help you find an apartment in the area that you're interested in living in here in Chicago. And might there be an opportunity to travel or study abroad? Absolutely. Once a year, usually in the January term, we usually have a trip that an academic trip that goes overseas. In recent years, we've had a trip go to Egypt. In Ghana, we've gone to Colombia. And there are always opportunities for travel within your time. Again, hopefully within your experience of being a student, you would be able to take advantage of one of those trips. Our website is www.mccormick.edu. We invite you to check out our website, see what's new at McCormick. We have inquiry weekends twice a year. This year, they will be they're typically in the fall and one in the spring. And we would welcome for you to come and explore our community. If you can't make it for the inquiry weekends, don't worry, we'd love to have you anyways. So come on up to Chicago. If you're already in Chicago, come on over to Hyde Park and see us. We'd love to meet you and share more of the McCormick story with you. Thanks so much for joining us, and thanks for coming to our booth, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.